How's it going, people? Liberal Hill back with another video, and this time, like I said, trying to keep the wrestling content consistent, and might have to get into NWA Power. Why is that Into the Fire pay-per-view was thoroughly thoroughly impressed. Um, and I was gonna try to go to the Falcon game today, but the I just can't do it. The Kaepernick stuff, it just takes me out. The NFL is cricket, blah, it's why the Falcons suck. Probably could have got tickets for mad cheap, but do I really want to put the money in the NFL's pocket? No, I don't. So I'm just going to put that money to the side and try to get tickets to NWA Power. I've already lost out on getting to the next pay-per-view, but the Saturday and Sundays are open, so probably going to order those tickets, get those out of the way. That way they'll be sitting there right for me. Anyway, this is the first episode after Into the Fire, the pay-per-view from NWA, episode 10, and they're calling it. I also like how they have the episode kind of like, um, uh, what do you call it, titled. So this is called The Villain Effect. So first off, it starts off with Aaron Stevens, the first or the new national NWA champion. He's talking about how he's not just the national champion, he's a third degree NWA champion because he's a third degree black belt of Mongolian karate. He says that him and Question Mark are going after not just a belt, but belts, the tag belts, the TV belt, the world belt, tag belt, all the belts, any belt you can think of, they're going after belts, just belts, 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 belts. Yeah, Aaron Stevens, entertaining. I think this live audience thing, he's just loving it because this guy, he knows how to interact with the crowd. He's quick on his feet, and yeah, man. Sometimes they just fall into place for people. Um, Out comes Colt Cabana. They get into this verbal, funny argument about him not being the real champion because the Question Mark helped him out. So that's continuing that little feud going on. Then Thunder Rosa, she's standing there. She gets attacked by Ashley Vox. Ashley Vox then gets saved by ODB and Allison Kay. So that's still going on. Then Melina and Rosa, Thunder Rosa, talk to, oh my God, I forgot her name again. I forgot her name again. The other lady in their group, how can I forget her name? Anyway, they tell her, look, where you at? You know, you're supposed to be out there to help us. And she's like, well, you told me not to be. Look. You got to be, it was some kind of slang she said, and they were disappointed in her. So, why do I keep forgetting her name? That's just weird. She has like a very unique name that you really shouldn't forget, but you forget it. Then you have a match, a qualifying match to get into the TV title tournament. C.W. Anderson, he's still around, wow, versus some guy versus outlandish Ziggy Dice. Just by going off personality, you knew Ziggy Dice was going to win. He ends up getting the victory with a rude awakening type net breaker, and then he cuts his promo, just going completely over the top. I'm Ziggy, TV champion, Tone it down, dude. Tone it the fuck down. In come the Dawkins, and they're talking about how they're going to expose the truth of the NWA about how the wild cards, because the wild cards promised them tag team opportunities, money, blah blah blah. But when they lost, they haven't heard back from them. In come the wild cards to chase them off with steel chairs. Then they had so I want to say like a promo segment, but it was like tape at the pay-per-view, a pre-tape or whatever, or whatever you want to call it. It had the villain Marty Scurll. He talking about why he's in the NWA and that he wants Nick Aldis's TV world title, and that he's here to cause a spot of bother, as he would say. Um, yeah, it's just so weird to see Marty Scurll come to the NWA. You would think, like, I like the NWA, but how can I put this? How can I put this eloquently? It hasn't been built up to where you would think like young guys like Marty, who have like a full career ahead of them, would go like right out for ROH. You would think it's ROH, then NXT, or straight to the main roster, or 205 Live, or Impact, or they might go to New Japan. You don't think NWA yet, and that's, I would think Marty is a trailblazer for doing that, being a guy that has a really hot name, and just when he leave in ROH, he's like NWA. It's like, whoa, hold on, wait a minute, wait, whoa, I did not see that coming. And moving on past that, had some commercials, blah blah blah. Then you had the Mad King, Eddie something. I forgot. Why do I forget these people's names? I know he's the Mad King on Twitter. The Mad King, Eddie. Why do I forget simple last names? Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston was on commentary, and he talked about why he and Homicide were there to support the Rock and Roll Express. He says that they're legends, blah blah Swaze. He respects them. The Rock and Roll Express fight two jobbers. They beat two jobbers. End of story. And then Ricky Morton, he calls out Nick Aldis. I forgot what he said, but he was pretty much calling him like a weak champion or whatever. Then moving on past that, you had the Dawsons coming back out. They're talking about, look, they're going to expose the truth no matter what. In come the wild cards. They get into a fight, and then it becomes a match. The wild cards versus the Dawsons. The wild cards pretty much isolate one of the Dawsons and stomp his hand in between the steel steps, and it becomes a focal point of the match. They stomp it, they beat it, they kick it, they do whatever they can to this hand, and the guys sell it on the hand. Excelente. They end up hitting their finisher. I forgot the deck or whatever. It's like a fireman's carry into a powerbomb. And then they, just to add insult to injury, while they're pinning the guy, they hold his hand down to accentuate the pain, and then they stomp it or whatever, and then they make fun of him, talking about they can't do the high five anymore. Yeah, you can't do that. And then they get on the mic and they talk about that's what happens when you mess with the wild cards. Look, Thomas, Braun, whatever you want to call him, the guy's a star. I've said it. I said it in TNA. I said it when he was on the independent scene. The guy's just an all-out star. His partner, who said Marty Jannetty? Who said Marty Jannetty? Who said that? Let's see. You had Josephus Claus coming out. James Storm had a pre-tape after Into the Fire, talking about how, it looked like Nick Aldis cheated, but he doesn't mind going to the back of the pack because he'll work his way back up, and if he gets back there, he's going to kick his ass. So, sticking with the James Storm thing of, being a hard worker, the everyday man. Who can't get behind that? Then you had the setups for the TV title. I think the first match they had was so they pulled names. They had Nikita Koloff come out and draw the names. So the first match they had was Eddie Kingston versus Ricky Starks, first match. Then they had Question Mark versus Boom Boom Cabana, and I guess they'll draw the other names later on. Nick Aldis, he's out there too, and he's going to be in the tournament because he wants to be a double champion, the first man to hold the NWA television title and the world title at the same time, making history. And people are like, man, why are you out here? You have the NWA world title, and he cuts a promo with Ricky Stark. Pretty much, like, I don't know what the hell Ricky Stark was doing. He was like playing with his chain and doing, what the fuck you doing, bro? The man just insulted you. So you're like, bro, slap this man. Like, hold up. Like, when you say, like, he's going to be a good competitor to lose me. Hold up, Sue. Hold up, man. I'll slap that haircut off your face. Man, what the fuck? Or some, son, it probably wouldn't be as explicit as I just got, but you could think of it on, whatever on the fly. Anyway, it says that Camille is no longer his insurance policy. He's building a team. So moving past that, to, Marcus Scroll talks about being in the NWA causing, just doing what he wants, going where he wants, being the hottest free agent, blah, blah. So you can go back and listen to the interview. Pretty good stuff with Stu. By the way, Stu Bennett, and they said he's on Into the Fire, but man, he did a damn good job at commentary. God damn, this man is like, he came out of nowhere and became one of my top commentators in wrestling. Like, wow, this guy is extremely good. Then you had Eli Drake selling the neck injury, like talking real hoarse and everything like that. And he challenges Mr. Anderson to a no disqualification match. And this match was wild and wacky and dangerous. Like, they fought up the steps, up on the thing. You got Eli Drake making all these funny faces, like the guy tried to rip down his pose. He puts it back up and then looks at the camera like, you can't rip down my face, bro. I'm that dude. I'm that guy. Really didn't tell you too much about this match besides it was like the first no disqualification match I've seen on NWA since they went to YouTube. Jim Cornette's probably gonna hate it. I leave for 1 week and these guys are already putting on goddamn hardcore matches. Point in the match where Anderson tries to go for the mic check on a steel chair. Anderson blocks it, toe holds him into the chair, and right before he's about to hit Anderson with the chair, he looks at the chair, looks at Anderson, looks at the chair, and throws it down like, I don't need a chair to beat you, bro. Hits him with the gravy train, 1, 2, 3. And all the while, Tim Storm's on commentary with Stu and the other guy, I forgot his name. He's like, man, this is a good champion, but there are other things, people that can beat him, whatever. He really hasn't beaten anybody. There's still a long road to go through, blah, blah, Swaze. And Magnus, or all this comes out, he's like, hold up, man, stop talking shit, stop saying my name. Your time is gone. I'm the future of the NWA. You're jealous. You're old. Blah, blah, Swaze. And Tim Storm, he's like, hold on, man. I'm not doing all this. And eventually it gets to a point where Tim Storm is like, hey, we can get into the ring and sell all this. Fuck the talking. And he's attacked by the wild card. And Magnus finally turns heel. I know a lot of people, he was already heel. No. He was like once they got into like that visual where everybody's like, hey, NWA, let's look at them. He transitioned into more of a, what would be the word? Fair champion. Like he was a tweener. He said things that were like heelish, but it was more like, oh well, he's English and he has like a rich lifestyle, so I'll excuse it. And like during his matches, he did things like fair counts, fair play, blah, blah, Swaze. Now it's just straight heel, like, okay, the debt's, getting a little bit higher. The guys are coming at me more and more. I'm building this team. I'm turning full force heel on everybody. And yeah, can't wait to see where this goes. Camilla comes out. She fakes out. Tim Storm spears him, and the collection is complete. Magnus, Nick Aldis, the wild cards, Thomas Brown, Thomas Lautner, Royce, and Camille. They're a faction. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the first faction in that NWA under the new YouTube stuff. So, yeah, I'm making it my priority to start watching NWA weekly. So, here's what wrestling you're going to get from me on this channel. NWA, TNA, maybe NXT, maybe, I don't know. Ring of Honor, pay-per-views only. WWE, pay-per-views only. New Japan, no, because they don't have storylines and it's just kind of confusing. Maybe a live show, but since New Japan's live show is on February 1st and NWA's show is on the 26th, look, your boy not rich. Your boy just can't be going Atlanta back to back because I gotta work, gotta stack. You know how it is, man. It's getting cold months. You know how cold months are. Just like a squirrel, you gotta stack the cheese. You gotta stack the cheese. Even in the summertime, you gotta stack the cheese, but you can let it flow a little bit more. But the point is, if I'm choosing between NWA and New Japan, I hate to say it, unless they have like a match where, hey, it's gonna be Okada and like some dream stuff, and it's not just some ragged ass house show. Um, I'll go to both. But if it's not, man, the NWA is gonna win. Just based off what they're doing right now at the time. And speaking of time, I gotta cut this video short because Rise of Skywalker, I'm gonna go see that. Sorry, excuse me. Also, I gotta get to Hip It Sports before they close because damn, my hands are ashy or rough, whatever. Damn. Steals and deals, see what they got. You know what I'm saying? I gotta hook up the fit bag, but look, swag. You don't have to spend a pretty penny to be swagged up. This also helps to have a lot of shoes, but you don't have to spend the bank, man. You can spend the whatever, keep the money in your pocket, and be fresh as fuck. If the Fed's watching. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll catch you guys later. You know what it is. Peace.